welcome to this week's Ruby Shoes podcast, delivering the very best local entertainment news across East Anglia. This week we've got news of a huge car show happening on Bank Holiday Monday. We've got two great family-friendly shows you want to check out, and if you grew up in the 70s, there's a hilarious show this weekend that you won't want to miss. Plus, as always, a roundup of some of the region's theatre shows that are absolutely fantastic too. Now, yesterday I popped into Ipswich to chat to the CEO of Cancer Support Suffolk, who'll be hosting one of their biggest fundraisers on Bank Holiday Monday at Suffolk Food Hall in Ipswich, their classic and sports cars by the bridge. So there is a huge car show all happening on Bank Holiday Monday. That is Monday the 25th of August, and it's all in aid of a very special charity. And I'm sitting here now with the CEO of that charity, which is Cancer Support Suffolk. Mark Murphy, tell us about this car show. This is the second year it's happened, but this year is really, really special because it's much, much bigger, isn't it?
Well, as a charity staff, we're always looking for different ways to raise money. We're a local Suffolk-based independent cancer charity, so we have to raise our funds through grants and fundraising events. And I'd seen in the past classic car shows being put on, and I thought, I wonder if we could put on one for the charity. And so last year, we put on an event at the Suffolk Food Hall, again, the Bank Holiday Monday. We had 250 cars, 5,000 people turned up. It was a gorgeous day, fun fair, attractions for the whole family. The Suffolk Food Hall was there for people to explore. And it was such a success that on the day, people were saying, well, can we book now for next year? And we go, we're not sure we're going to do it again next year. But we are. So we are back again this August Bank Holiday Monday, again at the Suffolk Food Hall. It's bigger than last year. Everybody always says, oh, it's bigger and better than the year before.
But it really is.
It really is. Yeah, we had 250 cars last year. We've got in excess of 450 this time round. And we're talking not just your typical classic car show, we're talking sports and supercars as well as classic cars. So you could have a McLaren next to a Morris Minor. You could have a Ferrari next to a Ford Fiesta. And so it's something, if you love cars, whatever age you are, you will love the cars on show. And it might be that there's a car there that you dream of owning one day. It might be that there's a car there that reminds you of one that you owned when you were younger or your parents had. So it's a really lovely day out for all the family. There's a fun fair, sideshows, Suffolk Sound are there broadcasting live. We've got live music stage with them. We've got the police are there, the fire service, Ipswich Transport Museum. We've got various other charity stalls. There's the Suffolk Food Hall to go and explore as well. So we're hoping to get a really, really big crowd. There's a massive car park, and we hope it's going to be as big a success, if not bigger than last year.
That's fantastic. And what's nice, you said it's family friendly. I believe that if you're 16 or under, it's free. You just walk in. Yeah,
we've all got families, and we know the cost of living is really difficult for people at the moment. So we've tried to keep the price as low as possible. Obviously, it's a fundraiser for the charity. So we're asking for those vehicles that are coming along, for the owners of the vehicles to make a donation to Cancer Support Suffolk, so to donate. And then those people who are coming, if you book your ticket in advance, it's £5 per adult. 16-year-olds and under are free. If you want to pay on the day, it's just £6 per adult, and 16 and unders are free. So if you book in advance, 2 adults, 2 children, 3 children, 4 children, come for a tenner. You know, where can you experience that kind of value for money?
Not on a bank holiday.
Not on a bank holiday Monday. So we've really tried to keep the costs down. We hope that people will come along, and we've got golden ticket to win a big Lando Norris signed framed piece of memorabilia, which is amazing, the motor racing driver. And we hope people will come along and help us to raise money as well, and to raise awareness of cancer and the early signs to look out for, all that sort of thing. So a really inexpensive day out, but a brilliant day out for all the family.
Sounds fantastic. Final question, where can we get hold of tickets?
You can go to the Cancer Support Suffolk website. That's www.cancersupportsuffolk.co.uk. Click on events and you'll see the car show up on there, and you can buy your tickets there.
And lots of information on socials and things.
Yeah, it's all over social media and in the press and everywhere. So yeah, please, August Bank Holiday Monday. It opens to the public from 11 through until 4. And as I said, a really inexpensive day out for the family.
Next, we hear from the writer of a fabulously funny show coming to the Quay Theatre in Sudbury this Saturday. On Saturday the 16th of August at the Quay Theatre in Sudbury, you can enjoy an hilarious evening of wacky stories and songs entitled Stumpy Sanderson's 1970s Jamboree Bag. And I'm delighted to be talking to storyteller, singer-songwriter Andrew Brammer. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for asking me, Steph. It's a privilege.
You're very welcome. Tell us, first of all, everybody's thinking, well, who is Stumpy Sanderson?
Okay, so Stumpy Sanderson was my best friend, is my best friend, and he was the leader of our gang of mischievous working class boys growing up in the 1970s. And he wrote stories and composed songs all about the japes, scrapes and capers we got up to and into during that defining decade. And I performed Stumpy's stories live on stage.
I think that's amazing. So this is all from the 70s. So anybody of a certain era is going to love this, me particularly, because that's my kind of era growing up. There was an awful lot of things that we could get away with. Can you kind of just I don't want you to give away this show, obviously, because we want people to turn up this Saturday, but give us a flavour of some of the things that you might be talking about.
Okay, well, we got up to and into all sorts of things. So, yep, just a quick flavour. So our main gang was Stumpy Sanderson, who was the leader, me, Andrew, known as the narrator, Bendy Henderson, Puffer Patterson and Stephen Brookman. And in 1973, this is just a one-off example. So even though I've lived in Norfolk for 30 years, the stories are all set in Dunstable, where we grew up, the trucking town of Dunstable, the Badlands of Dunstable. So in 1973, all 5 members of our gang, we provided moral support and logistical support to Gordon Sputnik Mahoney, who tried to recreate the concept of the Dam Busters bouncing bomb from the top diving board at Luton Swimming Baths, age 10.
On a space, exactly.
On a space hopper. And the fatal flaw in his master plan was falling off the space hopper halfway through its descent and being unable to swim. So that was pretty disastrous.
Health and safety didn't exist in those days, did they? So there were all sorts of daring japes that were hand. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we used to play up the downs with old car batteries, lead-based paint, sliding down the downs on sheets of asbestos, all that sort of thing. You couldn't get away with that now.
Now, all of this, have you put it in a book, maybe? Because I can imagine this would make a great show, but also a fantastic book.
I did with some of Stumpy's earlier drafts. So basically, all Stumpy's stories come from 2 time capsules. We buried a time capsule in 1979 that was unearthed in 2019, which was an old Watney's Party 7 can with a strange asbestos lid. And it contained 22 Stumpy stories that I then brought out on podcast. So they're actually on podcast, Stumpy Sanderson's 1970 stories. And then we buried a second time capsule that was unearthed in 2023, which is now series 2 of the past, another 22 stories.
Brilliant.
But before that, I used to perform earlier drafts of Stumpy's stories that were found in an old school bag in his parents' loft. And I did bring some of those out in a book form, but which is out long ago now. It came out in 2011. So I mainly do them on the podcasts now. But the second series is great fun because Stumpy sort of has developed as a writer. You can see he's moved from the sort of schoolboy English into what we sort of know is his sort of Ronnie Corbett phase, his Ernest Hemingway phase. So far more mature stories in the second series. Like the first series, we had things like The Satanic Rites of Stumpy, The Incredible Shrinking Stumpy, The Great Freight Train Adventure. But the second series has got stories such as Chipolata Mick and the Flight of the Pink Zeppelin and Chutney Barton euphonium out. So we have little stories like that, and it's just all about the chaos that we unleashed in the 70s.
But this sounds so much fun. The whole evening sounds amazing. Tell us, because you can't just leave it there with the podcast, how do we get to listen to those podcasts, first of all?
Right, so they're obviously all free to listen to. So every major podcast outlet, the series 1 had 22 stories. That's Stumpy Sanderson's 1970s stories. Series 2 started on the 1st of July, and the 4th episode comes out tomorrow. They come out every fortnight. So there'll be another 22 stories coming out on the podcasts. And people can follow me on Facebook and that. I'm not the greatest with social media, but I'm just beginning to, being a child of the 70s, I'm just beginning to get to grips with it. So Stumpy Sanderson's 1970s stories is on Facebook as well. And that was an interesting thing you said there, Steph, about the written word, because oral storytelling is very different to the written word. So when I'm performing it and the way the stories are written by Stumpy, their performance, they do translate to the written word as well, but they are sort of more for performing. And so some of that we use is slightly different than if you were doing it as a written story.
And definitely,
But it's great fun.
You get a completely different feeling when you're in an audience and surrounded by people who are all basically laughing their head off. I can imagine this is going to be a real evening of belly laughs, lots of memories for people as well. How can we get hold of tickets? Because this is all happening at the Key Theatre this Saturday, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, so the tickets are available from the Key Theatre website. There's also a phone line that you can call there, but it's basically the Key Theatre Sudbury's website, and you go on that, and it's with the next event on, actually, because I think they have a little sort of shutdown for a couple of weeks. So on the first event back on Saturday, August the 16th, 7:30, tickets are only £12, which is a real bargain.
It's an absolute bargain. It's keysudbury.com, or you can call the box office, as Andrew just said, 01787 374 745. That's 01787 374 745. They're going to go quickly. Sudbury Key Theatre is a lovely, lovely kind of bijou theatre, and it's always packed when you go there, and people really support it really well. Where else is this tour going to take you?
Right. So the next show that I'm doing on the Jamboree Bag, I'm playing Sheringham Little Theatre, so that's in Norfolk, and that's in November, and then I'm coming back down sort of Essex way for Colchester. That's end of February. That's at the Headgate Theatre.
Fantastic.
And then I do a couple of offshoot. Yeah, there's a couple of offshoot shows as well where I just concentrate on Stumpy's songs, because in this time capsule, as well as the stories, were some old Memorex tape cassettes with some of his songs that he'd bashed out. And so I do a little offshoot show as well, the songs of Stumpy Sanderson, and I'm playing a couple of those performances as well. But the storytelling is what I really love doing. And we've got some songs in there as well, some of Stumpy's bizarre songs, such as Mrs. Butterfield's Carpet. That's one of the songs that we'll be singing, and Stumpy Night Fever, which is about discos in the 70s. And yeah, so it's a nice mix, and what I love to do, Steph, you made the comment there about people laughing. I just love to put a smile on people's faces, and also have people say, "Oh my goodness, I remember that," and then having people laugh. There's nothing like it when people are all laughing together and having a fun night out. And storytelling as well is very hard to describe what it is. Some people say, well, what is it you do? And it's not stand-up comedy. It's full-on storytelling, but it's humorous storytelling, and it's full-on performance. And I think one of the nicest reviews I've ever had is, which I use on my publicity material, somebody actually wrote, "No one else is doing what Andrew is doing," which is a lovely little, I think that sums up, and people think, oh, what's that all about?
It's definitely going to be an evening to remember, isn't it? Andrew, it's been a pleasure to talk to you today. Good luck for this Saturday and also for the rest of the tour. And, when you're doing something new again, do get back in touch with us. We'd love to keep in touch with you. It'd be fantastic.
That's lovely. Thanks ever so much for asking me on, Steph. It's been great.
Finally, for this week, news of a couple of family-friendly shows. Perseus and Andromeda is currently touring with the Quill and Inkling Theatre Company, and Eloise Trett joins us now for the Ruby Shoes podcast to tell us more. Eloise, hello.
Hello, lovely to be on the podcast. It's great to be invited. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. It's nice to be chatting with you. Now, this is a family-friendly adaptation, isn't it, of the classic Greek myth. So tell us first of all the story of Perseus and Andromeda.
Okay, so our story starts off on the Isle of Seriphos, where Perseus is a teenager growing up, and his mum tells him all these crazy stories about how his father is Zeus, king of the gods, and he doesn't really believe her. So it all kind of starts off there. He's kind of trying to be a teenager, trying to live his life, and nothing's going quite to plan. And basically, he gets asked by the king of the island, who has a bit of a thing for his mother. He gets asked to go off on a quest to slay Medusa as a wedding present. And various different things ensue from there. We've got not three stories, but three sets of characters running alongside each other. So we, as our acting group, there's three of us, and each of us is playing three characters each. So we have a lot of quick costume changes, a lot of quick character changes. I'm playing the character of Andromeda, and that's one of the other storylines. Andromeda is her mother's pride angers the gods, and she is due to be sacrificed to the sea monster Cetus because of her mother's pride. And so it's how that story kind of intersects with Perseus's story as well. Yeah. And so I'm playing Andromeda, I'm playing Danae, Perseus's mother, and I am playing Athena, goddess of wisdom.
Oh, wow. So a lot to remember, lots of lines to learn as well. And as you say, quick costume changes. I'm sure it's a lot of fun. If people haven't come across Quill and Inkling Theatre Company before, tell us a bit about the theatre company. How many's in the cast, for example?
So our cast, 3 people in the cast at the moment. The cast tends to change per year. They have a touring summer production every summer. And the company has been going, I believe, now for 11 years. But I think I want to say it's the 5th year they've been doing these summer productions. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. So it's the 3 of us actors. So there's me, we have Sam Dart, who's playing Perseus, and she's playing Cassiopeia and Hera, of course, Hera. And then we've got Callum Adkins, who is playing Zeus, Polydectes, and Phineas. So there's the 3 of us, and we get on really well. They are so much fun to work with. We are constantly laughing about things. I mean, it's a silly show. There's a lot of fun and comedy in it. And I think you can think with this sort of thing, it can be quite heavy, but it's not. It's a lot of comedy in this show, a lot of silly moments, some audience interaction as well, which is nice. But it's the 3 of us as the cast, and then there's the director of the company, who is Ivan Wilkinson. He directed this play and wrote the script for it as well. And then we've got Beth Moreno Rivera, who is our producer, and she made lots of the costumes, the puppets, lots of the different stage things. So it's a small company, but there's quite a few of us that are local as well, which is really nice.
Excellent. That sounds really good. You're already out touring across Suffolk and Norfolk. How have the audiences reacted so far, Eloise?
They've been so much fun. I think some of our biggest audiences were at West Stowe when we went there. But a lot of the audiences, they really, what we do is prior to the show, we go out, we start talking to people, we get involved, we do a lot of stuff with the audiences, and they have been so much fun. They make it different every night, every day that we're performing. So we've had people who sometimes it's been very nice as well. Some of the audience members have even brought us snacks, and we've had free snacks, which has been lovely. We had free pizza last night. That was great. But we have people who heckle and shout different things, and then that affects the show because you're reacting to what the audience say. And that is just so much fun. We have people, because a lot of the shows are outdoors, we've got a combination, some outdoors, some in theatres. We had the Fisher Theatre in Bungay, and then we've also got some in churches as well. So the different environments affect the different kind of atmosphere to some degree. But when people are bringing along like their comfy chairs and things like that, we've had some fun times. We've been getting involved. We've been able to sit on people's very amazing, gigantic inflatable things. It's just been lovely. Honestly, the audiences have been so supportive. And so involved as well, which is exactly what you want from this sort of thing.
It most certainly is. Now, where are you touring in the next couple of weeks? Because I know that you're ending up in Cornwall, but the next couple of weeks, how can we catch up with you?
So this coming week, we're doing some more around Norfolk and Suffolk into Essex. So on the 14th, we're in Stansted, Mount Fitchett at the Church of St. Mary the Virgin in Essex. And then on Friday the 15th, we are in Suffolk again. So that will be at St. Mary's Church in Chiltern. And then we've got a few more dates in Essex over the weekend before we start heading out a little bit further afield and going to Buckinghamshire and Bedfordshire. But all of the dates are on the Quill and Inkling website, which is www.quillandinkling.com.
Obviously, we can get hold of tickets that way as well via their website. Once you do finish the tour, as I say, it's going to be in Cornwall at the very end of this month. Lovely place to finish, actually. Fantastic place. I'm hoping that you get to have some time off on a holiday. What happens next for you?
For me, I'm going to be going back to study soon because I'm doing my musical theatre degree at the moment. So I'm going to have a nice month before that starts, and I'm going to have a little bit of rest first of all, and then I'm going to try and enjoy a little bit of the summer, just having a little bit more time to myself before all of the intensity and craziness starts up again. So that's That's my plan for September anyway.
Eloise, thanks for chatting to us today. And break a leg, send that back to all the cast, won't you? And just enjoy it. It sounds so much fun, and I'm sure audiences will flock to see it as well. Nice family-friendly show there. And it's been good to talk to you and catch up with you today.
Thank you so much, Steph. It's been lovely to be on the programme.
The One Big Multicultural Festival returns this year on Sunday 31st of August in Alexandra Park, Ipswich. There will be live music, dancing and food from all around the world, and everyone is welcome from 12 noon. Children's fun fair, over 40 stalls and a new health corner offering free health advice to all. Entry is free. Promoting harmony and cohesion, it's the perfect family afternoon out. In partnership with BSC, Multicultural Services and Ipswich Borough Council.
And it really is a wonderful afternoon and well worth checking out. If you've not been before, bring a picnic or just enjoy the food from the many global food stalls. Sit down in the park and enjoy the free entertainment which goes on until 6 p.m. Now, next week on the Ruby Shoes podcast, we chat to one of the performers from the One Big Multicultural Festival in their final preparations before their big performance in Alexandra Park in Ipswich on the 31st of this month. Now, we're hoping to catch a word with the writer of a brand new piece of theatre, Penned Up, which is coming to the New Wolsey Theatre, and we hear from one half of the Gifted Melon Comedy Club about a comedy night happening in Ipswich Town Centre on the 21st of August. That's all in next week's episode of the Ruby Shoes podcast. There's a host of great shows on offer across Suffolk's magnificent theatres, and here's just a selection to tempt you. You won't want to miss Theatre Royal in Bury St Edmunds' Steve and Steph Forever, written by Ian Jarvis. It's an outdoor promenade production that's set in and around the streets of Bury St Edmunds. The couple meet by chance on a heady summer evening, and when there's magic in the air, and for all their differences, they fall in love before your very eyes. Steph and Steve Forever is an immersive and intoxicating love story that'll leave you feeling like the world is just a little bit more romantic, like the stars are a little brighter, and like anything is possible. It's on until Saturday the 23rd of August. For your tickets, go to theatreroyal.org. Southwold and Aldeburgh summer season of Theatre by the Sea is open for audiences and currently running from the 13th to the 16th of August in Southwold. You can see the original psychological thriller Gaslight by Patrick Hamilton. In Aldeburgh at the Jubilee Hall, it's Things We Do for Love by Alan Ayckbourn. Set in 3 flats that have been converted from what was originally a family house, the majority of the action takes place on the ground floor in Barbara's flat, but you also get to see Gilbert's flat and also an upstairs flat which is about to be let to Nikki. It's a powerful play examining adult themes around the nature of love and relationships, laced with Ayckbourn's wry humour. It tells the story of how anyone can be smitten by love at the most unexpected times. For more information, go to actco.uk. At Thorrington Outdoor Theatre, Sense and Sensibility, the musical, on Thursday the 14th of August from 7 p.m. If ever a novel was screaming for a musical adaptation, then this is the one. Celebrate Jane Austen's 250th anniversary with music, laughter, and even a few tears. To find out about this and all of the outdoor theatre performances this summer, go to thorringtontheatre.co.uk. At Leiston Film Theatre on Friday the 15th of August, it's your chance to see Counterfeit Quo, presenting the music of one of Britain's most enduring, popular and successful bands, Status Quo. An adrenaline-fueled performance romps its way through many of Quo's 22 top 10 chart hits, including Rockin' All Over the World, Down Down and Whatever You Want. The band has received the seal of approval from no less than Quo's very own Francis Rossi and the late great Rick Parfitt. For tickets, go to leistonfilmtheatre.co.uk. And finally, on Saturday the 16th of August, this time at the Spa Pavilion Theatre in Felixstowe, it's The Searchers Experience starring Spencer James. Spencer James has been the lead vocalist of 60s legend The Searchers for the past 37 years. He's performed all over the world and in every major venue: Wembley Stadium, Madison Square Garden, Las Vegas, the Albert Hall, and throughout the world, including Australia and New Zealand, Singapore and Hong Kong, Canada and the USA, as well as throughout Europe and the Middle East. All the million-selling hits you know and love: Needles and Pins, When You Walk in the Room, Sweets for My Sweet, Love Potion No. 9, Sugar and Spice, and so many more. For tickets and more information, go to spapavilion.uk. Don't forget, you can always get in touch with us via our Facebook page. We're at Ruby Shoes Podcast. We love to hear about your forthcoming plays, your comedy nights, or any kind of show, festival, or event in East Anglia you'd like everyone to know about. Tell us so we can tell everybody else. And remember, you can always listen again to any of the Ruby Shoes podcasts via Apple or Spotify, or just simply click on the weekly podcast links on our Facebook page. Follow us there too for all the latest entertainment news where you are. I'm Steph McIntyre. Thanks for listening, and we'll chat about more live theatre and all kinds of entertainment next week. In the meantime, check out those socials. At Ruby Shoes Podcast, we're on Twitter or X, Facebook and Instagram. We'd love you to follow us there too, and make sure you have a great week.